May I start? Hello everyone, I'm Rinkle and today at the last day of presentation on the paper under the paper name dissertation writing, I have chose a topic empowered echoes the feminine journey of Draupadi in selected Mahabharata retellings. Academic details and then in introduction, like until the lines have their histories, historians tales of the hunter shall always glorify the hunter. So a kind of post-colonial narrative is coming there in the under the what is the counter narrative. In introduction I have given the several theories like what retelling is, what is counter narrating, then unveiling feminism, exploring gender dynamics in narrative retellings, then post structuralist and post modern feminism, and then deconstructive reading. That is my hypothesis. In chapter name literature review, there are focus is on Indian epics. Mahabharata and Ramayana are retold and rewritten in various literary works. And then the prevalence of retellings focus on the focus how Draupadi has been portrayed in several retellings. Then key points from analyzed works like how the works selected novels, and there are many retellings of Mahabharata, how they all are portraying Draupadi in similar ways and some in different manners. These are my research questions. Narratological in chapter number 3, I have studied narratology in selected works like I have chosen two novels, Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni and uh, Yagna Seni, The Story of Draupadi by Pratibha Ray. So there is narratological study of Mahabharata, then depiction of major characters and events in Mahabharata. How Mahabharata in how Vedvyas has portrayed various characters and events. Then narrative structure of Palace of Illusion by Chitra Banerjee, and depiction of major characters and events in the Palace of Illusion. How retellings are portraying characters and events or also narrative in their storyline. Chapter number 4 is a comparative study of the Mahabharata with the Palace of Illusions and Yagna, the story of Draupadi. Like they both are depicting Draupadi in several ways. Like I have chosen some of selected parvas from Mahabharata, like comparison of the beginning of selected text, and then comparison of Swayamvar Parva of the selected text, comparison of Vivahika Parva, then Yuddha Parva, then Mahaprasthanika Parva. In conclusion, concept of woman is not fixed by biology but rather a social construct. Historically, men have defined women in relation to themselves, not as autonomous beings. The idea of femininity is subjective and not universally defined. So, there will be some language itself can perpetuate these inequalities. So when it comes to mythological boons, they are given as they are given to favor men rather than female. Boons are given to female, but it will seem like they are favoring men. And even when retellings are also portraying highlighting several incidents when polygamy of Indian kings. Like they were having so many wives, but they had never struggled between them. Like I mean, whenever Chitra Banerjee is portraying Draupadi struggling among her husbands, like how she is struggling, and she had to like there were rules for 1 year with one person, then with another's. Like other kings have never had such rules, things like that. Then bibliography. Uh, thank you.
Okay, so bring your title. The primary text you are not separately mentioned that. Which primary text you are working on? So character study you are doing, no? Draupadi in that. So why you want to also do narrative study if you are doing character study?
Narrative is somehow affecting the way the characters is because in Mahabharata, Vedyas has portrayed his own point of view only, and he himself being. He has portrayed several narrators who will be telling the story from his point of view. And here, the female retailers will be portraying Draupadi in some different point of views, and how the narrative is changing, and how the changing narrative also changes the perspective. We see or we read the way.
And you refer to one table from Sarah Barber's work.
Yes.
That is about how retellings shape younger and older adults' memories.
It was actually favoring one argument that how retailers who retell several texts, like even like any retail, you take any retailing, there will be retailer who will favor or will be changing intentionally the events or incident. Like Chitra, this Pratibha Ray has included several characters, or has somehow slightly changed some of the events also. So they will be changing the narrative in the way it suits to them. So how people change narrative according to them, or what are the factors affecting retellings in that manner?
This table is not explained thoroughly, like data that is given about. So how do you explain that table that you have to write more on that? Using this only in conclusion.
Yes.
You have to use that partial review, and then you have to use that analysis, and then your inference in conclusion. In conclusion, don't try to bring what other people say.
Okay.
Conclusion is your conclusion. So keep conclusion only your writing. No need to cite anybody or no need to bring in other people. So because it seems very difficult to comprehend this table. So in the article, things are given in detail. You can use that, but review that article, bring up good ideas which you want to use for analysis. Use that in analysis, and then draw your inferences. That how narrative plays a vital role in the study of characters. That if you change the narrative, then the character changes. That in that line you want to think.
Yes.
How narrative and characters are considered. And you want to see empowered echoes in
Yes.
that also. So that you have to connect. Through narrative study, you are looking at the character and how the change in the narrative is empowering them. That trajectory